It is 11:30 in the morning Eastern Time on Thursday, April 9th. I'm glad you're here. And I know we have people. I'm looking over at the attendee list, and quite a few of you I recognize from having attended some of our other events. Christopher and Dana and Vikash. Vikash, I know, is over in Asia. Anik. Lori and Mark and Michael and Terrence and Trisha and Kathy and Jean and Ephraim, Donna, and wow, welcome all of you. Hey, if you haven't already done so, and it looks like only a couple of you did, go ahead and let me know where you are on planet Earth. Go ahead and use the chat box and let me know what city you're joining me from, okay? I see that Ellie is here from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. Lori's here from Orlando. Hi, Lori. It's been a while. I know we've got, let's see, we have Atlanta, Bend, Oregon, Rockford, Illinois, Miami. Mark says we're becoming family. Hi from Atlanta. Welcome to you too, Mark. Chuliota, Nepal. Awesome. Glad you folks are here. And I know there are a few of you in Nepal that are joining us. What time of day is it there now? Let me know. Look up at the clock and let me know about what time it is there. Donna's here from Tennessee. We have Kathy from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. Christopher in Leesburg. Christopher, it's been quite a long time since I saw you. Kathy says it's 11:30 where she is. Awesome. Who else do we have here? Madeline from Herndon, Virginia. Awesome. Hey, great. Glad you're all here. Thanks so much for being here. We've got a lot to cover in just 30 minutes. And by the way, if you haven't already signed up for the next event I'm doing later in the day today, it's just 2.5 hours from now. That'll be on personalized email marketing messages. So be sure you join us. Oh, Vikash says it's 9:17 p.m. in Nepal. Wow, that's an interesting offset from where we are on the East Coast of the US. Anyway, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. This session is called Email Marketing Quick Start. And this is the next in the series of online events that I'm doing 7 days a week until April 30th. This is actually the 24th webinar I'm doing since March 16th, I think is when we started this. And my goal is to bring everybody together. You know, we're in a situation where many economies have really begun to collapse. In the United States, the federal government is trying its best to stimulate sales again, but we are still, many of us are shelter in place or quarantined, or our physical businesses have shut down. So what I've decided to do, I decided this actually about a month ago, was to do daily events to help people who don't normally touch marketing understand better how to market their businesses, especially now that they're forced to do it in a virtual environment. I encourage you to ask questions during this session. I do promise to answer all the questions that are posted. And even if we run over by just a few minutes. If you're not sure where the Q&A box is or the chat box, move your mouse down to the bottom of your screen, whether you're on a laptop, a desktop computer, a tablet, or smartphone, the taskbar down at the bottom. If you don't see it, move your mouse down there and throw your questions and chats in there. Also, if you haven't let me know what city you're joining me from yet, go ahead and do that. And lastly, go ahead and raise your hand. Use that control panel. Let's see who knows how to raise their hand on Zoom. We've got Cindy and Mark and Debbie and Kathy and Michael and Madeline and Jean and Vikash and Dana and Lori and Ellie and Lewis. I can't keep up with you all. That's awesome. All right, so listen, here's what I'm going to teach you in the next 20 minutes. It's the essentials of putting together a great email marketing campaign that actually gets your results. And this is just a 20-minute version of a 90-minute workshop. And even in 90 minutes, I can't teach you everything there is to know about being successful at email. I do 2- and 3-day workshops just for that purpose. So 20 minutes, you'll get an overview. If you join me at 2 o'clock this afternoon Eastern time, we'll go through personalizing email messages. Make sure you sign up. And if you haven't signed up for that class yet, go on our website. It's thecountessgroup.com. Go to the upcoming events tab. It's under seminars and webinars. And there you'll be able to sign up. I know we have room for a few more people. Okay, so let me know, are you ready? All right, let's do this. Hey, do you know what the #1 app on smartphones is? The #1 app on smartphones, it's email. More than half of all emails are opened up on a mobile device. And that number actually starts to go up a little bit more when people start going back to work. Today, the numbers are shifted just a little bit because so many of us are working on our laptops from home. But the reality is that more people own a smartphone than own a toothbrush. That's a little bit scary to me. And here's a study that was done not very long ago that found that 3/4 of people prefer to be marketed to via email. And that's because it's passive. And it's also because if you as a business owner post something on, let's say, Facebook or LinkedIn, that post may not be seen because there's a feed that scrolls, right? So if you post something at 8 o'clock in the morning and your audience doesn't get to see your post until 2, 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon, maybe in the evening, they'll never see your post because it's off the screen and most people won't scroll. But if you send an email out, it will stay viewed as unread until they open it. So you know you have their attention. So that's why people prefer to be marketed to using email, because they have more control over the messages that they receive. Did you know that 91% of people check their email daily? Actually, it's more like 99% these days. And many people check their email on a smartphone. The reality is that email outperforms every single other marketing tool out there. It delivers a 42-to-1 return on investment. That means for every dollar you spend sending out an email, you can expect 42 back. Social media only delivers a small fraction of that. So when you're doing email, first impressions, as in everything else that we do, first impressions really do matter. So how do we make sure you're doing the right things to be effective? Well, thankfully, it's fairly easy to do. There are 7 elements of email design: pre-header, header, logo and colors, image, the message body, a call to action, and a footer. Those are the basics. These are the 5 things that you need to change with each email. So the good news is that those other 2, you don't change. They stay standard. That's part of your branding. So with every email you send out, you're going to change the subject line. You don't want the same subject line every time. You want to add a pre-header. That's a teaser that gives someone a sense of what else is in the email. You absolutely want to have an image. You, of course, need your message. And then make sure that you have links in that email for people to click. That's how you know that they've interacted with your email. Because let's face it, no money is made when someone simply opens up an email. Your money is made when people take action. So you've got to have a call to action that makes sense. All right, so let me ask you this question. Think about the last time you signed up for an email. How did you sign up? It might have been on somebody's website. It might have been on social media. But what you need to be thinking about is nobody woke up this morning saying, wow, I can't wait to get another email. I get about 650 emails a day on average. That's 4,000 plus a week. So it's important for you when you're sending an email out to anybody that it's something that they are going to want to open. And there are different types of emails. Some are time-based and some are informational. You want to be sure that the email you send out is going to be something that grabs somebody's attention, and makes them want to open it. So how do you do that? You add a great subject line. And don't be afraid to get creative with that subject line. Your subject line should be the interrupter. That should be the thing that stops people in their tracks and says, I need to read this. So among the ways to do that, and I'll show you how to do that in a very short demonstration, make sure you use the word you or your. For example, John, schedule your consultation today. Second, create a sense of urgency, like, let me back up, like last chance, register by Friday. Get creative with your subject line by making them laugh, like read between the lines. Or maybe pull at their heartstrings. Hey, take 5 minutes to help children in need. Or pique their interest with a subject line like, you won't want to miss this. Or you can ask a question. Are your investments working for your business? Or use numbers. 5 tips for perfectly grilled ribs. You want to be sure that you don't ever type in all caps or use excessive punctuation or symbols. That will get you in the spam box. You don't want to be there. Next is you add pre-header text. What exactly is pre-header text? That's the little bit of text that you see just below the subject line or just after the subject line when you're sending out an email. So pair your pre-header text with your subject line and use you or your. So for instance, John, schedule your consultation today. And the pre-header is personalized tips to lead a happy life. Once again, you can create that sense of urgency. Example I gave earlier, last chance, register by Friday. The pre-header may be reserve your spot today. Our classes fill quickly. And if you make them laugh, read between the lines, the pre-header can be enter your photo for a chance to win big. Pull at their heartstrings. Take 5 minutes to help children in need. The pre-header following that subject line could be $10 can provide a child with school supplies. You won't want to miss this. May be followed up by get our 3 secrets to growing your business. If you're an investment counselor, 3 questions to maximize your results. Restaurant, 5 tips for perfectly grilled ribs. How about ribs that will knock your socks off? And then, of course, add a supporting image. Get an eye-catching image that makes people stop in their tracks. Make sure that image is crisp and clear. And make sure it's not one that you stole from Google Images. If you're using Constant Contact, they provide a library of 25 million images. Some you have to pay for, but many are free. Stop them in their tracks with imagery that really grabs their attention. Don't forget about using video and perhaps an animated GIF or a rotating banner, for example, of different images. So what do you say and how do you say it? Make sure this is an example for a for-profit business. What you're offering should be that headline. It should stop the reader in their tracks. Tell them how it will help them. In the message body, provide details, and then tell them what they should do next. Have a button in there with a link to complete that action. Be sure, though, that you keep things simple. People, on average, spend about 15 seconds on an email. 15 seconds. So don't take all day to create that email. A picture, a paragraph, and a call to action is really all you need. So what is a call to action? Get them to make a purchase. Here's an example of how you might generate that call to action. Order yours today. Or they're going fast, get yours. Or schedule a consultation. Or donate now. All of those are great calls to action. Or give them a deal. For example, save now. Buy now and get 10% off. Claim your coupon. Unwrap your surprise deal. And don't forget too, to promote your social channels. For example, be our friend. Like us on Facebook. Are you following us? Share a photo on Instagram. And use your emails to get feedback. Tell us how we did. Do you love us? Have 5 minutes, leave a review. If you're doing events, you may want to drive event registrations. The calls to action might be, register now, count me in, save my spot, I'll be there, or don't miss this event. Direct them where to take action. Drive them to your website. Make sure they know exactly what to do. When they click that button, in this example, it takes them to a Facebook page. And then you want to finalize and send that campaign. Who's got some questions for me? I don't see any questions yet. No comments. What a quiet crowd. Maybe I need to throw in another poll to get some activity going here. So well, let me throw another question in here. Let's try this one. If you're using an email marketing service right now, which one are you using? Go ahead, and if you don't see the poll, move your mouse. Let's get everybody involved here. I'm looking at 3 different screens, by the way. So if you say, why is he looking around? Well, that is the reason. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick live demo. I want to be sure we get everybody out of here on time. And as I said, we will run over if we need to, if enough questions warrant that. So let me do this now. Let me switch over to the screen I have. And this is the email screen that I actually sent a few minutes ago. This is the email that went out just 10 minutes before we started. And for those of you who have checked your email in the last few minutes, you will recognize this email that was in your inbox. So it says, hey, Ken, we're just about live. If you don't have the login info, use this URL. Log in now to be sure your settings are correct. Be sure to answer the poll questions. And when you sign in, use the chat box. So short and sweet, got your attention. Simply had my logo. The call to action was go ahead and click here. That's all it took. And by the way, that's what it looked like on a desktop machine. Here's what it would have looked like on a mobile device. All right, so let's go ahead and let's create a brand new email while you're here with me. When you're in Constant Contact, let me make the screen a little bit smaller so you can see a little bit better. There we go, that should work. If you're using, I see we have people using, most of you are using Constant Contact, some are not using email at all, some are using MailChimp, and some are using something else. Very simply, when you log into a Constant Contact account, you click that create button that I just clicked, and let's just create an email. Constant Contact does a really great job of making it really easy to send out a really simple email. I'm going to use, I'm just going to type in the word basic, and they display for me all the very, very basic templates. I will tell you that there are 400 different templates that are available for you to use, and you can customize them any way you want. So this is a very basic template. I'm just going to name this test during webinar, so I know later on what it was that I did. So everything in here is a drag and drop. So for example, I've already got my logo up here, and if I want to drag an image in, all I need to do is click on that placeholder and replace the placeholder with something else. How about how to sell more in less time? I can change this to, let's see, want to sell more. And the system prompts you on what you should and should not do. So what you're looking at here is it says, keep your message brief and friendly and to the point. And they've already added in a link that you can go in and easily change. So I'm going to make this my website, and I'm going to take it to our events page. And by the way, you can enable click segmentation. We don't have enough time to go through what segmentation is or does in this session, but suffice to say that I can have any list that I want to assign something to right here. So maybe we send it to a video click. So somebody clicking on that link will wind up being added to a specific list. Let's do this. See our upcoming events. And we'll go ahead and insert that. So you can see here that we've now got an image, a headline. I didn't change this content. This here, see our upcoming events text. Let me make that 20 point and let me make it red to get somebody's attention, and we'll make it bold. And that easily, we've got something that's pretty well ready to send. Now, other things that you can do is you can add a video. For those of you who are using video in your marketing today, it's very easy to just add a video to a Constant Contact email. All you would do is just put in the link. So if it's a YouTube, a Vimeo, a Wistia video, what you would do is put the URL in, and the system will go out and look at that video and grab a screenshot and drop it in. You'll see that video thumbnail here, and then you simply insert it into your email. So when your email is ready to go, and oh, by the way, I should mention there are other action blocks here too. If you have an online store, if you use Shopify or WooCommerce, maybe you have events on Eventbrite, maybe you want to have a short poll, very easy to add. And there are lots of other tools available to you as well. You can drop as many images in as you want. An Email Plus account will store 2 gigabytes of imagery. That's huge. All right, so let's go back here. One thing you can do also is you can preview that email that you just created before you send it out. Here's what it would look like on a desktop device. Here's what it would look like on a mobile device. All the links are working. So for instance, this is the link that I put into this particular test email. If I click that, I wanted it to go to our upcoming events tab, and voila, there it is. All right, so that's a really short demo of what you can do. And that's really all we have time to cover in a 30-minute webinar. But I did want you to have an opportunity to see how easily you can set up an email using Constant Contact. So let me go back here to the rest of the presentation and let you know that there are different things that you want to do on a for-profit business or a not-for-profit business. On a for-profit business, tell them what you're offering. Tell them how it will help them, and tell them what they should do next. For a nonprofit, let them know what your cause is. Why should they care? And how can they get involved? In essence, there are 3 things you need to do. The first is answer questions to write your content. Second is make sure that your email has a call to action, something specific you want the reader to do. And before you send it, always test those links and send yourself a preview. Email, as I mentioned earlier, has the best return of any marketing tool out there, 42 to 1. That's better than anything else you could do. We have a client that I refer to pretty often that went from $50,000 a year in sales to $750,000 in just 4 years. They were running sales of about $50,000 a year for 4 years in a row. They started using Constant Contact through us, and they're now generating nearly $1 million in sales. And for them, the ROI is 350 to 1. So if you're not using email marketing yet, you should start using it. And this is a great time to start. And don't worry about it being perfect. We'll help you get it right. But there's no such thing as perfect. If you want to create awareness for your business, this is the time to do it, especially when everybody is checking their email every single day, many times a day, because they don't have anything else to do. Email starts at $20 a month. So even if you're operating on a shoestring, $20 a month ought to be something affordable. If you want to just try it without laying out a credit card, you can do that. Get a 60-day trial of Constant Contact for free by going to this URL, completelyfreetrial.com. And by the way, if you've already had a Constant Contact trial account in the past and you didn't do anything with it, you can sign up for another one. When you go to that URL, if it says, hey, we already have you in our system, that's when you contact me directly, and I'll go ahead and set you up with a brand new account. And if you decide you like it, and I'm sure you will, I can give you a $240 a year savings on a new website. If you don't have a website, this is an amazing offer. If you want to refresh your website, but don't want to take the old one down yet until you know the new one is working well, sign up for this and we can get you going. All of your marketing needs are in one place. Whether you need to start using email, you need a new website, maybe you need a logo, maybe you need help with social media ads, or just about anything else, we can help you. We also have something called an Email Marketing Academy that you can find on our website. 70 videos up there that teach you step by step by step how to do an email campaign. And you learn at your own pace. I'm ready for Q&A. If you're not sure where the Q&A button is, move your mouse down to the bottom of your screen, whether you're on a desktop, a laptop, a smartphone, any device. Move your mouse to the bottom of the screen. That will reveal the Q&A and chat boxes. My name is Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help you gain an unfair advantage over your competition. I've been one of Constant Contact's top trainers for years. We can help you. We can help you with just about anything you need to market your business. Why would you hire us? We have a team of over 30 people with over 40 years of experience. We can coach you, or we can do it for you. You can connect with us anywhere on the internet. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, you name it, we're there. Follow me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/The Countess Group. There are 6,000 people following us there, and we post stuff every day. LinkedIn, type in my name in the search bar and connect with me. Send a personal invitation to me and I'll accept it. If you're on Instagram, it's Ken Countess Marketing. We help you gain an unfair advantage over your competition by teaching you how to do email and social and better websites. And yesterday we taught about Google Ads. Make sure you take time to absorb and practice what you've seen today. And you can find replays and our upcoming events and free trials. And you can schedule a consultation and more at thecountessgroup.com. Go ahead and check out our website, okay? Hey, we'll get through this difficult time by working together. I'm here to help you. Make sure you sign up to attend our other upcoming events. As I mentioned, we have one coming up at 2 o'clock U.S. Eastern Time today on personalization of emails. It'll be a 1-hour workshop. So I'm ready for Q&A. Are you ready for Q&A? Hey, this is Ken Countess, and well, I do this every morning. We do it on Zoom and stream it also on Facebook Live. If you have something you'd like me to cover, go ahead and send it in. Let me know what you'd like me to do for you. This is all in response to the pandemic. Businesses have been hurt. I want to help. So please join me tomorrow morning. Join the rest of the crowd. We'll see you then. So once again, you can reach us again tomorrow morning at 11:30 U.S. Eastern. We have the other event this afternoon at 2 o'clock Eastern. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the Q&A box and the chat box. By the way, if you felt this went pretty fast, and it did, I know that, you can find replays on our website later today at thecountessgroup.com. We also have a YouTube channel. Find us at youtube.com/countessgroup. And be sure that you sign up for more of our upcoming events. It's a different topic every day. All right, so while this is up here, let me look at the Q&A and chat. Let me move those over so I can see them. Ephraim says, what's a good click rate for an email? It's a really great question. The average click rate, believe it or not, this may sound like a small number. 5% is a typical click rate. If your click rate is in the 10 to 20% range, you are a superstar. 5% is typically the click-through rate on emails. How often, Luis says, how often would you recommend to send a mass email? We do not want customers to block or unsubscribe, but we want attention. Luis, it really is dependent upon a few things. Let me know in the question box what type of business you're in, because the answer varies depending on the type of business. But generally speaking, it's a matter of good common sense. And what I mean by that is that you have to think about it in terms of, if you were on the receiving end, how often would you want to get an email from that business or from that nonprofit? So here's an example. We do a weekly newsletter. The purpose of the weekly newsletter is to provide information to help businesses grow their business. And so we have a very, very low unsubscribe rate. People are always going to say, okay, I know what I need to know. So don't be too surprised and don't take it personally if people unsubscribe. But if you're getting a wave of unsubscribes, what that's saying is either you're sending too much, you're sending too often, it's not relevant enough. You want your emails to be educational and informative. And as long as they are, and once again, use the thinking of, if you were on the receiving end, how often would you want to receive an email from that individual or from that business? That would be your guiding light. Okay, so I'm not sure, Luis, what business you're in. Once a week is generally more than enough. If you're in retail, retailers tend to send more frequently. Nonprofits, depending on the type of nonprofit, it can vary anywhere between once a week and a few times a month. Let's see. Ephraim says, can I import emails from QuickBooks to Constant Contact? Yes, what you would do, if I'm understanding the question correctly, is what you would do, Ephraim, is, and I can show you how to do this, is you would export your customer list from QuickBooks. It'll create a CSV file or an Excel file, and then you would take those email addresses and import them into Constant Contact. Generally, you want people to know that this is what you're doing. You want to ask for permission. But typically, if you're doing business with them, they're in your QuickBooks account, so obviously you already have a relationship with them. So you can build on that relationship by sending them information that will help them be more profitable, do more business, and so on. So that's how you would do it. If you need help, please reach out to me. Let's see. Taryn says, by click-through rate, do I mean open rate? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Open rate is purely that they've opened up an email. A click rate means that after they opened up the email, then they click on a link inside the email. Good, I'm glad you asked that question. Luis says, we're a QuickBooks consulting firm. We provide complex QuickBooks solutions. Okay, so you probably want to send your emails once a month. That would be my guess. Madeline says, hi, I work at a small fitness studio. We send out a newsletter via Constant Contact biweekly during normal business circumstances. The newsletter goes out to both past and active clients as well as prospects. It has educational information plus video and images for call to action. Is it a good idea to send our newsletters like that, or better to personalize one letter to clients and one to prospects? Madeline, number one, you're doing a wonderful job based on your description, and biweekly is awesome. You may find that you get better results by segmenting your list into clients and prospects. So you have something for the clients and something else for the prospects. For example, you might offer your prospects a reason to come in. If they're a prospect, they're not utilizing your services yet. So they may get something a little bit different. But also within Constant Contact, you can create dynamic blocks. And what that refers to is you may have some portion of the content that's relevant to everybody, and then you might want to offer a special block of information to people who are either past clients or their prospects. And there are ways to do that within Constant Contact. You can reach out to me and I'll be happy to talk about that more. Luis says we have a private cloud hosting division to put QuickBooks Desktop and all the applications needed to the private cloud. Yeah, so that might be something you would promote to your clients that are not using that service yet. To those who are using that service, they obviously, you wouldn't market that service to them because they're already clients of that service. And by using tagging and segmentation, you can, as I mentioned to Madeline, you can create an email that only certain things appear to certain clients or prospects. Terry says, with the $20 a month to Constant Contact, what does that membership include? Just basic email. If you were to step up to the email plus, you'd have autoresponders, you'd have survey, you'd have polling, you'd have e-commerce, you'd be able to put videos in there. $20 is basic, get you off the ground and get you started. Very basic tools, but for many people who are not using anything at all, that's where to start. And it's month to month with no contract. So it would be something that I would recommend if you're not using email marketing yet, start using it and start that way. And as you grow into it, that's when you start adding other capabilities, and the upgrade is prorated. And once again, everything is month to month. Terrence says, is there a good open rate? Yes, the open rates, Terrence, really are dependent upon how well you segment your list. So for example, if you send one email out to your entire list, regardless of what their demographics are, whether they're customers or clients or prospects, if you just send one email out to your entire list, your open rates will probably hover in the low teens. But if you segment your list so that only your customers, for instance, who buy certain products from you get a certain email, your open rates could be 60 or 70%. That would not be uncommon at all. Here's another example. As you know, I'm doing these webinars every day. I typically will send out a thanks for attending email later in the day, and it has a link to a replay. The open rates on those emails, because they're only going to people who registered to attend, those open rates are 40, 50, 60, 70%, because they're people who were interested in attending, and they want to know more, and they want to be able to view the replay. So the email gives them information on where to find it. Hope that helps. Luis, you're welcome. Let's see, what else do we have here? I think that's it. All right. So, hey, as promised, we did run over and we did answer the questions that came in. I want to thank you for joining me during this session. And I hope you'll join me again later in the day today, 2 o'clock Eastern, for personalizing email messages. And I hope you'll join me again tomorrow morning at 11:30 Eastern Time for our next one. And by the way, remember, every day it's a little bit different, and we're doing this 7 days a week. I hope you'll join me then. Bye for now.